So I'm going to do a series in philosophy. In each video, I'm going to talk about one question that bothers me about philosophy, and I will try to do my best and to find some position in the questions, some position to take in answering these questions, and then I'm going to go to the next question. So I will start with the question of the question of um, 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 the question of can 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 consciousness be created? So this is the first question. The first question is whether or not it is humanly possible or within the possibility of some future human or with some technology, whether or not it is possible to just take a material, take some material and compose it and rearrange it and do some chemistry or whatever magic you want on it, and after a while of playing with the material, whether or not you can create from this absence material, this plain matter, if you can take this matter and rearrange it and make it into a conscious being. And what do I mean by it? I mean a being that has an internal world, that has experience, only experience. Okay, so whether or not you can take anything that is not conscious and make it conscious. Okay, this is the first question. Whether or not you can take, like for example, like when you take if you take, for example, some plastic, and if you take, for example, some plastic, metal, and some kind of iron or whatever, and you can combine this materials together and create an object that is composed mainly of these materials, and whether or not it can be conscious. Can you make it conscious? And another question behind it is whether or not you can actually know it is conscious, how to know it, how to find out if it's alive, how to find it out, and whether or not it is a plausible question at all to ask if it's conscious. If you cannot ever test if it's conscious, you cannot know anything about its experience, because you cannot involve yourself in its mind. You can only watch how it behaves, and from this behavior you can deduct that it has experience. But to to say that it's a bit confusing, because you take the object that is able to move and do things, and like this object is likened to a dog or a cat, and the cat, for example, we know the cat is alive, and we look at it and it's obvious to us it's alive, but the cat is only matter, because it is only mass, it's only object. Okay, so the cat cannot be alive from our philosophical point of view, from my not from an axiom, but from my position, from the basic observational position of the experiment, of the thought experiment. Okay, so you look at the cat and you say the cat is just an object. But then to say this object is alive is very easy to us to say it, because we are used to it from where we were born to this world. We are seeing this object, and the way to properly act in this world and to get what we want, we need to treat them like an object. So we're going into it. We're used to it, and we are believing what is we believe the things as a contingency. So not as it's a bit mind-boggling to know, to recognize that this is a contingency, that we cannot that from the basic assumption of the mind of the born creature, the basic assumption of the existentialist, or the basic assumption of a living individual subject, it would be a bit out of the borders of our thinking to say that there are objects that live, or to say even that there is something that lives besides us, because we have the border of thinking of the same border of thinking of a solipsist. Actually, if you know what solipsism is, it's the border of thinking, meaning the solipsist only knows its own mind. It doesn't know beyond a world beyond its own mind, and it thinks that he is only person that exists in the world, that the whole world is an illusion, and he lives in a dream. Basically, this is the I would even go as far as saying that this is the position of all living creatures. But only contingency says that the world exists and that object existing, and that even more to say, as outrageous as it seems, if humans are alive and they are basically made only of material, then we can do the same that happened naturally, right? Because everything is natural. We can take some semblance of pieces, put it together in some way, and some pieces and assemble this together in some way, and do our magic to create, but not really magic, because it's very complicated and it requires thinking and skill, and create some kind of a robot. And the robot can have the intelligence put into it. It will express the same intelligence that was put into it. For example, if I teach him to play chess in some level of chess, it will play as the intelligence that put into it. So the same intelligence would be expressed. So, but it will not be real intelligence, because real intelligence requires understanding. Okay, so this is the basic of intelligence. The basic of intelligence is understanding, and the basic of living is experience. Of consciousness is experience. So to take the cat that is an example, for example, this cat, and this is an example, but then you can take something as a computer, and you have people talking about singularity, and people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs who developed computers, and they call them smartphones, and computers, which we have like Ray Kurzweil, who said that in some faraway future we will have computers that can express the same consciousness of humans, and not only that they will actually be conscious and even more intelligent than us. So I will say my position on it. I won't say I am a solipsist, which is an extreme position. I will not say I will not say that I believe in God to make all this, to make the cat alive, right? Because if we cannot make a computer alive at some stage of our development as a species, as a civilization, we cannot make the same way on an object, right? But it doesn't mean that there is a difference between us and God, and that God created cats or lions or dogs or whatever that are alive because he invested his consciousness into it. It doesn't mean that God exists. It doesn't mean that I'm a solipsist. It doesn't mean all these things. It only means that it is a very, very because I cannot see how consciousness is being created, okay, and I cannot see that that I am the only thing that exists. I maybe think that I am the only thing that exists, that I will probably be more on the side of the solipsist than believe in God. But we have this dilemma, and to take some position in it, I would say that we if I was a materialist, I would say that computers can be intelligent at some point, and I think many people actually will believe in this after we will reach the technological development, and computers will be seemingly intelligent and living, so people will believe in it. But I won't believe it. But to take a point in this question, to take some point of view, it's hard to find my position in it, my view. My view is just that I do not accept all the things I said in this video, that all the things requires a belief to be made, and for you to believe something, it requires a belief in it, because to believe computers can be intelligent, to believe a cat is alive, all of these things, that God exists because the cat is alive, or that I'm a solipsist because I do not believe in any of this. But right now I don't have a point of view. I do have I have like an overview of this. So just to say I'm not a materialist, so I definitely won't believe that computers can be intelligent, that's for sure. To say I'm believing in God, also not. More towards the solipsist. So this is my point of view. Goodbye.